Manchester United have lost 4 out of our opening 7 Premier League games. It's our worst start to the Premier League since the 1986-87 season. That performance there against Crystal Palace was horrendous. A complete lack of quality. That's what Man United didn't have today. Quality. Every single decision in that final third, wrong. The lack of tempo in the build-up, despicable. For United, look, the Brighton game was humiliating. The defeat against Arsenal, that sucked with the Garnacho offside. That there against Crystal Palace, to do that after beating them comprehensively midweek, Eze wasn't playing and United had a couple of different plays, blah, 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 blah. The lack of consistency between performances is absolutely horrendous. Man United's lack of attacking quality there, it blows your mind. You can't talk about injuries there. You can't talk about, we could have and should have had a penalty. That was just awful. As a collective team performance, awful. Individuals, yes, we can talk about Casemiro. Yes, we can talk about Rashford, and I will speak about them in this match reaction. But overall, just the team collective there, or the lack thereof. Crystal Palace crowded out the middle of their box. They crowded out the central areas. Man United had no inventiveness whatsoever. Goes down towards Dalot. Pellistri was getting bullied off the ball 24/7. Marcus Rashford, who cut a massively frustrated figure again. And he has cut a frustrated figure. Decisions. All of his decisions were wrong. All of Casemiro's decisions were wrong. How can Casemiro go from a 10 out of 10 to a -10 performance? Completely lost in that game. Everybody was lost. There wasn't a man that you could... I tell you what, there's one person I can point towards in that game, and I said we should have got the ball to him more, was Rasmus Højlund. Anytime we got the ball up to him through the middle, he either held it up, he did something with it. He was the only one who was trying to run in behind. Did we have a single through ball in that game? I'm not sure we did. That's what I mean about the lack of inventiveness. Amrabat, so good in midweek, he was conceding... Look, the goal that we conceded, stupid foul. Stupid foul from Amrabat. He did that like 3-4 times. Jordan Ayew was playing him, and he kept doing it. That's just... Come on, Amrabat, you're smarter than that. The goal itself, bolt from the blue, he won't score another one of those again. Probably in his career. Great goal in itself. Deflected off the low. Unlucky, but I mean, look, we've just lost against Crystal Palace at home. Man United's home record last season after the Brighton game was fantastic until we played Brighton again. And we have now lost 2 consecutive Premier League home games. And we've lost 4 out of our opening 7 Premier League games. And as I said, I think we've got to speak about individuals here as well. Because for me, that was a game where it was just a lack of quality. The game started exactly how it did against Crystal Palace in midweek, right? Opening 15, 20 minutes, measured possession, patient build-up, but it was just the lack of quality. Crystal Palace, because they crowded out the central areas, we couldn't really get the ball through to Højlund enough of the time. And we just kept going wide to Rashford or Pellistri, who were massively, wholly ineffective. And because Rashford didn't have the overlapping Shaw, because Amrabat, as it stands, is playing as an auxiliary left-back and cutting in and becoming an actual central midfielder, Rashford doesn't have the overlap. So it's kind of easy to double up on him. And he just cuts such a frustrated figure, man. Body language does tell a lot. And Casemiro, I said that we're going to see the evolution of Casemiro. It feels like when Amrabat's going to be sitting behind him, that was the first time that we've seen Onana, Mount, Højlund, and now Amrabat starting a Premier League game. And we've gone and lost to Crystal Palace. And they are so bang average. And if they're bang average, I don't know what you call that from Manchester United. Honestly, a properly horrible performance. And for me, the thing that I find, the reason I'm furious, the thing that aggravates me the most is Burnley, gritty, dirty 1-0 win, needed it, stop the rot. Build on that with the performance against Crystal Palace in midweek. Good, it's exactly what we did. Probably one of the most assured, enjoyable performances you've seen from United in a while. And a few days later, you play the same team at Old Trafford and you go and do that. Absolutely inexcusable. United just didn't have any ideas. A complete lack of inventiveness, as I said. And you know, look, Victor Lindelof came in for Harry Maguire. I didn't know whether I had him in my predicted 11. I was like, I don't know. You could see Maguire starting there. Lindelof and Varane, anytime they had the ball, was just slow, was just sideways. We are missing, and we have missed all season, Martinez's vertical passes from the back, the ones that bring it through the middle, that skip a couple of lines. We've missed it. And Lindelof today was sideways city. Oh my God. I thought Mason Mount was all right in the first half. I don't think he was. I think the performance far worse than he was. But just everybody just looked lost. Bruno Fernandes, a man who's normally so influential, looked a little bit lost. I don't really know if the team really knew what they were doing today. And I just can't believe the lack of quality. Why didn't we get the ball up to Højlund more? That felt like the only sort of attacking outlet that could have led to something today. Did we get unlucky in certain occasions? Yes, we did. I don't know how Crystal Palace didn't concede. What was it, about the 80th minute? 2 deflections. Somehow doesn't go in. Was that a penalty? It hits his arm. If his arm wasn't there, it goes through to, what is it, Garnacho. Therefore, it's a penalty. But it would be disingenuous of me to focus on those things when just the overarching lack of quality in that team, the lack of ability to score goals in this team, look, it's more than a worry now. 4 losses in our opening 7 Premier League games. And that was the first game there where we actually had our starters. You can't blame that performance there on injuries, on the players who are missing. At all. You can't... Look, Bruno came into the team from the... Marcus Rashford came into the team. Lindelof came into the team. Ineffective. Pellistri came in. Oh, no, well, he started midweek. Oh, my God. It's all about momentum in football, right? That's why the Burnley felt like one step on the ladder. That's why the game against Crystal Palace midweek felt like another step on the ladder. And we were free falling off there. Pretty much the whole game. Right from the word go. Crystal Palace knew exactly what to do. And we didn't know how to get around it. Just every decision that we made in the final third was a wrong decision. The lack of intensity, I don't think that was... There were far bigger problems in that game than lack of intensity. And as I said, I'm going to focus purely on that lack of quality. Manchester United could have and should have created significantly more chances than we did there against Crystal Palace. They didn't create that many chances because they didn't need to create that many chances. They got their goal and they sat back and they defended it. And United just didn't really threaten them that much. I wasn't surprised that Rashford went off. What do you do from here, right? Because I've been saying, when Amrabat comes in, it feels like it'll be different. And the 2 games building up to this, it felt like that. But then to have the utter lack of consistency between playing the same team twice at Old Trafford within the space of 5 days, and that happens. Did Eze make that much of a difference to the Crystal Palace team that all of a sudden they were incredible? No, not at all. He was good. Yes, he was good. I'm not saying he wasn't. But United cannot do that midweek and then that in the Premier League at the weekend. Horrendous performance. Like we lost 4 games this season, right? We lost against Brighton. We've lost against Arsenal. We've lost there against Crystal Palace. And I can't remember the other one that we lost. I don't really care either. Where do you turn from here? I don't really think there's any excuses that you can throw at that. I don't think there's any excuses that you can say that would justify that level of performance. We've got what? Galatasaray in the Champions League midweek. After losing to Bayern Munich, we need to win there, right? Then we've got Brentford. And then we've got another international break. Casemiro, -10. Marcus Rashford totally looks out of it mentally. He's just not committed. Everything he's doing is just ineffective, and he seems to be frustrated by his own ineffectiveness. Højlund should have had the ball more. Amrabat, great in midweek. It's just kind of immature, if you want to call it that. Ayew was just street smart, and Amrabat was not. Lindelof didn't do anything to come in and say that he should have taken Maguire's place in the team. Mount, in and out. Bruno, where were you? Højlund should have had the ball more. 4 losses out of 7. I mean, that was genuinely horrendous.